cutting with a chainsaw. Now, David, Lily mentioned at the beginning of the show that she was hot-footing it out to the mailbox to post the Valentine's card that she'd just thought of, that
Yes.
nice anonymous one. Have you done your Valentine's Day card still, or did you put it on the breakfast table next to the cereal box this morning?
Well, in fact, a tradition in our household is that Valentine's Day is usually February 15, because we both forget. I think it's time to move on and talk about the word romance.
We should stay with romance, though.
Because romance isn't dead, Richard. The word actually comes from Old French romance, R-O-M-A-N-Z, which describes a verse narrative. And that verse narrative was often comprised of knights and maidens and dragons and adventures.
But I was wondering about that, because we tend to think of romance now as being, you know, about sort of passion and romantic feelings towards somebody. But wasn't romance then rather more to do with telling stories, the romance of the story?
That's quite true. And in fact, in the dictionary, I noticed quite surprisingly that of the 11 meanings that romance possesses, the 7th meaning is that of love and an affair and infatuation. But the other 4 or 5 on top are all about adventure and chivalry, knights and maidens. And that was the understanding, has been the understanding for centuries. It comes from Romanice scribere, which is vulgar Latin for to write in the vernacular. And the reason these stories were so popular, not just because they were, you know, such heady tales, but also they were written in the common tongue of the people. And it's the transition from a story of adventure where love usually conquered all was quite a natural transition to the idea of romance and the heart winning out. However, if you think that love conquers all, it's also fascinating to think that in French, the word love means nothing, and that is because le œuf, the egg, is describes the naught that is in tennis. That's why we have love in tennis. So it is either all or it is nothing.
I think we'll go for the all. Sounds good. Very romantic. Thank you, David. Let's have a look at our scores before we move on. Damien's on 13, Brian on 18, and another letters game to come with Damien. Your selection, please.
Thanks. I'll start with the consonant this time, Lily.
Thanks, Damien. S.
And another consonant.
N.
And a vowel, please.
E.
And another vowel.
O.
And another consonant.
D.
And a vowel, please.
E.
And another consonant.
M.
And another consonant.
F.
And finish with a vowel. Thanks.
And last letter, O.
Thank you, Lily. I'll start the clock. Well, Damien, how many for you that time?
6, Richard.
6, well done. Brian?
6 as well.
Okay, Damien, let's start with your 6.
It's a bit cheeky. It's mooned.
Mooned. Well, it is indeed a bit cheeky in more ways than one. Brian?
I had demons.
Demons. Oh, back to those tales of daring do, perhaps.
It is actually. I'm thinking of sort of romantic light and demons. Both are fine. Mooned can be a verb. Mooning also means to mope. Moping around the house, you're mooning. Demons is also good for 6, Brian.
What did you find?
Well, having spoken about love and romance, I think it's only fair that in everyone's life there is someone, and that is a 7.
Very nice work, David. But well done to Brian and Damien. 6 points each. Well, we're going well with the letters, so let's keep going with them. And Brian, what would you like this time?
Thank you, Richard. I'll start with a vowel, please, lady.
E.
And another vowel.
O.
And another one.
E.
And a consonant.
D.
And another consonant.
R.
And another one, please.
B.
Another vowel.
A.
And a consonant.
V.
And another consonant, please.
And last letter, M.
30 seconds on the clock. So, Brian, how many this time?
I've got a 7.
7. That sounds very good. Damien?
Just had a 6.
6 for you. What was your 6, please?
Derobe.
Derobe. And your 7, Brian?
Removed.
Removed.
Well, we have 2 ideas of removal, but I just want to clarify derobe. I do think disrobe is the only opposite of to put clothes on. Yes, disrobe is the verb. So, but moving on to removed, the same word I had, Brian. Well done for 7.
Very nice work for Brian. Another 7 points. Damien on 19. Brian now 31. Let's get back to juggling those numbers again. And Damien, what would you like by way of a combination this time?
I'd like 2 large and 4 small, thanks.
Thanks, Damien. 2 large and 4 small. And our numbers are 10, 6, 1, 10, and the 2 large, 25 and 50, and the target number is 750.
And good luck with that target. Well, we just had to sit here and wait for the clock to come round, really, didn't we? Damien, did you get to
Yes, got
the target?
750, yep.
750 for you, Brian?
750.
All right. Damien, your method, please.
Well, 50 plus 25 is 75.
50 plus 25 is 75.
Times that by 10.
By the 10 is 750.
Very straightforward. Very straightforward indeed. And Brian, for you
Same
too.
way, yes.
Okay, once again, if you can just verify that you've done the same thing. And Lily, too easy.
No.
What about giving us a bit more of a challenge?
Nice, easy one. I had a couple of other methods, but they're not worth mentioning, so.
An easy one, but good to have them from time to time. I'm sure Brian and Damien are both grateful for their 10 points each. Damien, 29. Brian, 41. Let's head for another brief break. I think it's time for another word mix. And tag ratio is what we've got for you with the clue, a stirrer, especially on washing days. Back in a while.